Hello and welcome to today's special reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading Abby Jimenez for the first time. And you'll be joining me on whatever I get up to here in New York City. Let's talk. As you can see, I have like laundry and stuff on the couch that I need to put away. I've got some like dresses hanging up that I need to put away. Maybe we'll get to that at some point tonight. Like I said, in this vlog, I will be reading Abby Jimenez for the first time. I have 3 of her books, all from Book of the Month, and apparently all these books are in the same series. So I'm excited to dive in. I actually saw Abby Jimenez on TikTok the other day. She had like a cute dog video, and I didn't even know it was her. I was just like here for the algorithmic cute dog content. I was like, wait, this is Abby Jimenez? She had like thousands and thousands of likes on this dog video. Beside the point, I'm very excited to dive into these. I already started this one. I'm only like 5 pages in. This is Part of Your World. This is about an older doctor lady. She's probably like 10 years older than our hero, who's this like country boy kind of guy, and them trying to figure out if they can be in a relationship when they're from completely different worlds and how they can make that work. Then I have yours truly, which I think they're also maybe doctors in this one. At least one of them's a doctor, and I think it's a bit of a letter writing situation and a super cute, mushy hero, like a sensitive hero, if I can recall what people said about it. This last one is a new release, which I'm very highly motivated to get to because I really need to read as many new releases as I can this year, which is honestly probably not that many. But I want to prioritize new releases more. And this one is about 2 people that feel like they're cursed to always have their ex find the love of their life right after they break up with them. So it's like they're dating someone, that relationship ends, and then the person they just broke up with, the next person that they get with, they're like gonna end up with forever and they'll marry and all that stuff, you know? So they meet each other on a forum and they decide they'll try to break each other's curses by dating each other just for the summer, and then the next relationship they have should be the one. But obviously it's a romance between the 2 of them, so they'll end up being each other's perfect person, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. So for some context in this vlog, because the last one I would have posted would have been from probably like March, April. It's currently June, so we're getting closer to real time if I can get this video out quick. Who knows when this will be posted. But it's June, it's very warm. I have a 10K race coming up this Saturday. Today's Monday, so I'm excited for that. Me and Chase will be doing that together. Throughout the vlogs, you would have seen me and Chase training for the half marathon, which we completed a couple weeks ago. And let me show you our medals. So we did the Brooklyn half marathon. We finished in 2 hours and 8 minutes. We ran it together, which was super fun and cute. And yeah, I just feel like since I didn't vlog this, I wanted to include it right now because I've been doing a lot of running content in the vlogs, and like, especially in my Instagram stories and stuff, I posted all about the race on Instagram stories. Maybe I should make that like a highlight because that was a great day. I actually signed up for another half marathon down by my parents' house in November. So me and Chase are gonna run it. My dad was super inspired after seeing all the different types of people. Should we do laundry while I give you personal updates? Okay, I figure I move over to the couch so I can be a little bit productive and like fold some of this laundry while we chat. And then maybe once I do that, I honestly should edit the vlog I'm in the middle of right now because it's been like 8 days since I last posted and I'm really trying to get back to 1 week, guys. I'm so close. I don't know what my problem is. Actually, I do. It's this right here. It's the PlayStation. I keep playing it instead of editing, but you know, life is balance. We're trying. Like I said, I finished the half marathon, the Brooklyn half marathon with Chase. We finished in 2 hours and 8 minutes, which was way better than we expected, which is awesome. We started out really slow and moderate. You know, obviously everything's relative because we didn't know if we were gonna burn out too fast. You know, we'd never run 13 miles. The training guide we used, the furthest run it had us to do was 12 miles. We were booking it at the end. We were feeling great. Our friends came out to see us. My parents came up to the city to watch. And my dad was so inspired by seeing all the different types of people running the race that he was like, I want to run a race. Like, he didn't tell me this right away. He told me this maybe like a couple weeks after the race. And he's like, yeah, I want to run one now. He'd run one in the past when he was younger, like when I was a baby. He does some runs with me, like when I would go home to visit them and stuff. I'd have like 6 miles on the schedule and he'd run like 3 of them with me. And then one day I had to run 10 miles while I was home visiting them, and he took the bike out while I was running. We went on a little adventure together, which was cool. So yeah, he was all inspired. So we ended up signing up for a race down by them in November, a half marathon. So very excited. I sent him the training routine and all that, and he's been going. Chase is obsessed with Strava, so he's checking my dad's status on how he's doing with the runs on there. And our other friends, Bree and Gonzo, we had like a little double date with them a couple weeks ago, and Gonzo was like, oh, I can't have Chase be one up on me or whatever. So he's like, yeah, I gotta run now, I gotta do something. He's not like doing running activities really right now, but he plays soccer and stuff. So he's like active. And I sent them over the race information for the November race, and they were like, we're down, and they like signed up and everything. So very excited about that. I actually have to still update my dad that they're joining us. I don't think I told him. I told my mom, but I don't think I told my dad. She tells him everything, so he probably knows by now. But yeah, should be fun. Probably try to PR on the 10K run that we have coming up this Saturday, which I will probably get some snippets for in this vlog. And if not, it was probably on Instagram. So if you want to see what I'm doing on the day-to-day, definitely follow me on Instagram, because that's where I'm the most active. So I've been doing a lot of reading. I'm pretty ahead of schedule for my Goodreads goal of 60 books. I kept it really modest. I think I only read like 70 something last year, and the year before that I read like 80 something, but I don't know, I think with life getting busier, you know, now that we're out of the pandemic era and I'm like out and about more often, I didn't want to put too much pressure on it, so I'm doing really well. I think I'm at like 45 books. Obviously there are like novellas and stuff in the mix. But yeah, feeling great about that. I've been working through my Harry Potter challenge, my Harry Potter project. I'm on book 5. I haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the personal updates I have for now. We'll just continue to roll with it in this vlog, but I'm gonna finish up folding this laundry and I will catch you when I'm done with it. That's it for now. It's been a long intro and I'm gonna get to reading. Hello friends, this is probably the fastest I've ever turned around an update. It is the next day, Tuesday, and I've read 80 something pages of this book. It's cute, but I'm learning about myself that I hate fade to black. And nobody mentions that this is like closed door fade to black in any of the reviews that I read. And like, I stayed up super late. I'm fucking exhausted, to be honest. I stayed up till like 2 in the morning reading this in bed with my little book light, trying not to wake Chase up. I got past their first one night stand situation where they realize like they really like each other or whatever, but it skips like the hookup part, you know, like it skips them hanging out, it skips them getting to know each other, like one-on-one in a private situation. It skips all that. And I'm like, not again, because I tried reading a Daphne Perry book, that Indigo Ridge. It did the same thing where like they hooked up, but it skips that interaction, and then all the characters do is like reflect on how amazing it was. And that's what's happening in this. They're like, oh my God, the sex was so amazing. And then the guy's like, I'm so proud of how good I was at sex because she wants to hang out with me again, right? And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, okay, we'll give it some time. So I kept reading because I was like, is this gonna be just like a one-time thing where like the author skips the intimacy part? But no, she goes to see him again. And these aren't like major spoilers, you know, sorry if you don't like that. I'm not gonna spoil anything, I promise. I'm just talking about the fade to black aspect, because it says it in the, you know, the description that she's going to see him, right? So she goes to see him again on purpose this time. They have like kind of like a little date, but she's like, I'm not looking for a relationship. They spend the night together, but the author skips the intimacy again. She skips them, I don't know, like we see them on their little date or whatever, but like, why are we skipping that? On top of it being skipped, like it's one thing to skip it, but like for so much of the plot to be based on the sexual relationship between characters, but you're skipping the actual sex scenes is so annoying to me. Okay, this is page 84. It's still early. He's like, oh, you should come over to my place and not stay at the Airbnb. And she's like, and I wasn't capable of refusing. And then it skips to Daniel's chapter and it's like, they wake up in the morning. And Daniel's describing the night and he's like, the sex was unreal. That's a quote. The sex was unreal. Was it? I don't believe you because I didn't see anything. It just bothers me when a story is about the sexual relationship where that's the focus. Like, they're just seeing each other for the sex and that part is removed. Like, what's the point? Like, if the story isn't about the sexual relationship, then whatever. But like, when it is, why cut it out? I don't know. And some people don't like smutty stuff. I get that. And not even just like the steamy bits. Her first night staying with him, like getting the grilled cheese, getting to know him. Like, why are we all like reflecting on it? Like, oh, remember when I stepped in the dog poop? Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm having a hard time with that, and I feel a little disconnected from the characters. But I'll give it some more time because all the reviews say this book is like super emotional. So I'll change my mindset and maybe think of it more of like a women's fiction book and instead of like a typical romance. So a little bummed about that. And now I'm committed to 3 of them. Now I'm like, how are these other books gonna go? That's it for now. I will catch you in the next update. Okay, I've read 30 more pages of this book, and I will admit, they are very cute. They're a cute couple. I like how infatuated Daniel is. The story is compelling. It's compelling because the things with Alexis's ex, he's an a-hole, and Daniel and his relationship with his mom and like the situation with the B&B and all that stuff is interesting. So like, I'm compelled by the story. I was just being kind of a brat earlier, but like, those feelings are still true. I'm still really enjoying this story outside of like that critique. So I just wanted to be fair and tell you that. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Let's read this together. I'm pretty far in, okay? I'm this far in. This is what I have left. And no spoilers, but something is definitely not gonna go right in the next few pages. So I figure you join me. Oh, my sweet Daniel. Oh, my sweet poor baby. Thank God Alexis didn't fuck this up. I mean, the situation is still bad, but at least she didn't make it fucking worse. Okay, he fleed. Oh, God. Oh, okay, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, I'm almost done. Not really, I still have like 60 pages. Updates. It's Wednesday. I'm reading this really fast. It is a super quick read. This book isn't as fade to black as I originally thought. I really kind of don't want to talk about this anymore. It's a little bit more gray, but it's definitely not focused on that at all. Like other romances, it's not like smutty or anything. I give it like 1 chili pepper. Spice rating, not a big deal, whatever. But the scene I'm reacting to now is the classic 3rd act, maybe they're gonna break up situation. A lot of people don't like that, and I wouldn't say like I'm like a super fan of like the 3rd act breakup, but when it's done well, when it's realistic, when like the situation makes sense for why someone is like upset or like things aren't working out, you know, in that moment, like a misunderstanding or like poor communication or somebody fucked up, you know, like I'm like, damn, like I really felt this scene clearly. But to be honest, our heroine, Alexis, she's kind of, I don't know, she's really set in her ways in something specific. Like one of the factors that is causing the conflict. I can understand why, but at the same time, it's not making her happy to do these things. She's just like doing what she thinks other people, well, she's doing what other people are telling her to do, pretty much, instead of taking more control of her own life, which as the reader, as like someone that feels like I'm her friend right now, I'm like, bitch, fuck all those other motherfuckers. Do what you need to do for yourself. This is your life. You need to be in charge of your own life. You know what I mean? I just kind of want to like knock her upside the head and be like, live for yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm a little frustrated, and my poor little baby Daniel is a casualty in her choices. I'll talk to you probably when I'm done with this. All right, it's Thursday, and I have reading updates for you. So I finished Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, the first book in this little binging challenge experience. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I had fun with it. It was very rom-com, very sweet, a bit insta-lovey from our hero, but in the most like endearing, charming way. I loved our hero, Daniel. He was just like all in for our heroine, Alexis. The main criticism I had about this book was like the conflict was a little bit like, just take care of your own life, like be in control of your own life. And you know, it's advice that probably more of us should take. There are definitely aspects of my own life that like I need to take ownership of a little bit more. You know, if I want to go on vacation, I need to plan it. If I want to see some kind of thing, if I want to do a certain activity, I need to just like do it and not wait for somebody to come around who wants to go with me or who will plan it for me. You know, I need to be a little bit more in control in my own life and certain aspects of it. For her to make such a big decision, or for him to make such a big decision, like it can be scary. But overall, I did enjoy it. Didn't love it maybe as much as the average person because the reviews are amazing for this. So happy to have finished book 1, and I've already started the next book, which is yours truly. So again, this is all in the same series. So this one is about Alexis's best friend, Brianna, who works at the hospital, and it's her romance with this new doctor that's joining her ER. She's trying to run for this chief position, but this other guy, this new guy, he's kind of up for it too. Brianna's like 35. I have no idea how old the hero is. She has a younger brother who's like 27, and he has like liver failure, so he's on dialysis, and he's really struggling with his health, so he's in and out of the hospital a lot. I don't think this is a spoiler. Yeah, it's not a spoiler. It's on the flap here. He decides to donate, oh, it's not a liver, sorry, it's kidney. Her brother has like kidney failure, and he's on dialysis. But the doctor guy, the romance guy, he gifts his kidney to her brother. And I don't know what the scenario is. I'm on page 50 about. I don't know if he's doing it because they start becoming friends. I don't know yet. They're not friends yet at page 50. There's this animosity Brianna has towards him. So Jacob isn't very good at first impressions. He kind of steps on her toes by accident a couple of times, their first interactions. So Brianna doesn't really like him. She's also going through a divorce. She's been separated from her husband for like a year, but it's getting finalized soon. And she's more of like a fiery, angry personality where she's like more quick to like snap at people if she's going through a hard time, which I can relate to. You know, a younger me was definitely a little bit more volatile. It's cool to see a character like that in a contemporary story. Obviously, there are like hot-headed fantasy heroines and stuff, but yeah, I'm intrigued to see where this will go. I'm interested to see how a more fiery, how did the other doctor describe her? I think he called her like a bulldog type female character will mesh with a more, you know, anxious, gentle male character, and how, you know, maybe she'll be a good match for him. They must be. Like, is she going to be more of the protector for him? And then, like, what is he going to do in return? I don't know. It might be, like, an interesting dynamic to see if she's more of the protector because he feels uncomfortable in certain situations because of his anxiety and all that. Liking it so far. Already liking it more than the first one. I think the scenario is more interesting. Like, seeing them in the hospital on the day today is interesting. And, yeah, I think I just relate to Brianna as a character more, and she's less annoying to me than Alexis was in the first one. I will continue reading this tonight, and I'll give you more updates when I'm closer to being done or finished. Or if I'm doing something fun in real life. I mean, it's only Thursday, so I don't have any plans yet. Oh my God. So, in personal updates, my best friend is finally back. I don't want to give too much information because it's not my story to tell, but she's just been away for a while and she's finally back in town and I'm so excited to see her. So I'll probably go to her place tomorrow, Friday. I think I'm going to work out of the office tomorrow just because they're shutting the water off in the apartment building tomorrow to do like maintenance or whatever. So there's going to be no water anyway. So I might as well go to the office. Oh, I really don't want to, but I probably should. And then I'll just take the bus over to Jersey to see Ina, if they'll have me. I mean, they have to settle in and stuff. They just got back today. Hopefully I can pull that off. And I also need to be back home Friday night, not too late, because I have to get up super early because I have my race on Saturday, my 10K with Chase. And we're trying to run it fast. And I think we have to be there at like 8 in the morning, and it's like 50 minutes away. It's in Queens, which you're like, yeah, you live in Manhattan. Like, Queens isn't that far. But, like, it takes, like, 50 minutes. So, yeah, I will take out the camera when we're doing fun stuff, too. So, I will talk to you later. This is 1:30. Got a ring. Let's go. Oh.
7 turns. Happy birthday! Second birthday runner I have seen out there today.
Too for the vlog. Oh, my heart is full. Around in 9 minutes. You're pushing me really hard. We got this. It's gonna be hell. Medal added to the collection. It's Saturday, and I've been having a great day. Chase and I ran our 10K today, as you saw in the earlier clips. I ran it as hard as I could. I mean, maybe I could have run it like a wee bit harder, but I needed to also finish the race. It's like you have to try to feel it out. I had done a practice run on Tuesday, kind of running as hard as I could, so I knew that it was gonna feel really hard. So that was good preparation mentally, at least. And I finished, let me put my stats up for you. So I finished in 51 minutes and 2 seconds, which put me at an average pace of 8 minutes and 13 seconds per mile. So yeah, that was really great. And then Chase finished a little bit after me. We ran together for most of it, but he was getting like, he was hitting a wall towards that last mile. And I was like, dude, I gotta run this as hard as I can and as fast as I can. You coming or what? And he was like praying. He was like, dear God, let me finish this race. Like, so I left him with God and I kept going. So then Chase finished in 51 minutes and 29 seconds, putting him at an average pace of 8 minutes and 18 seconds per mile, which is really not that different from mine. That's like, what, 5 seconds difference per mile of a total of like 27 seconds later than me. So yeah, it was great. I saw an old college friend. He was running it with his brother. He came up from behind us. He was like, hey guys. And he just, you know, he gave me a fist bump. I was like, hey, how you doing? And he zoomed on by. He was going much faster than us. He finished, I think, in like 7:40 per mile. Like, he was going pretty fast. And now I'm here reading. I'm halfway through, and I am eating it up. I'm obsessed. I think the difference also with this is that, like, the relationship, it's fake dating. That's like the main trope. And it's between the two doctors. they're like friends. They're like really good friends now. They're getting to know each other. They got in this fake dating situation. And I like it because you can feel like the buildup. It's more of a slow burn, which I am enjoying, versus the first book in this series. Like the relationship started off about sex, and it was just like kind of awkward because of the way it was written. I didn't like that. So even if this one is still like kind of like maybe a bit closed door, maybe a bit gray, not fade to black, but maybe like fade to gray, kind of a little bit, you know, in the style, like maybe it won't be as bad because at least I got to enjoy the buildup of it all. And those give me like fun little butterflies in my tummy that are just the best part about reading romance. Absolutely loving it so far. I mean, I'm halfway through, so we'll see how it ends. I was talking to Sam and Eliza about this little project I'm doing on Instagram, and Sam was like, yeah, then you can tell me if I should read book 1 and 3. And I was like, oh, why don't you want to read book 2? And she's like, oh, it has a trope I don't like. And I kind of made the mistake of asking her what trope. Because the trope she told me, like, feels kind of spoilery. I won't tell you. But it just depends on when that trope happens, because there's just, like, I don't know. I won't say too much, but yeah, I'm curious to see if that's going to happen, like, in the meat of the story, or if that's more of, like, in another kind of situation, like maybe like an epilogue thing or something. I don't want to say too much. Oh my god, I have so many other updates. I met up with Nick and Ina. Oh, I think I did tell you that Ina came back. I met up with Nick and Ina. We got Thai takeout, and I hung out with them, which was really great. I'm so happy they're back. It was like no time had passed. It's like we went back in time to 2023 when they left, except they have all these cool memories of like Mexico and stuff and all the cool things they did there. And then I gave them their like combined gift of every birthday and holiday that we missed. I got them a digital picture frame, kind of like the one that I have. And Ina already uploaded like 300 pictures before I left. So safe to say they love it. Oh, so yeah, when I went to the office, I meant to pack my book for like the subway, and like to take when I take my lunch break, I could read it because I was like really enjoying it. I was still in the early stages of it. I was like under 100 pages, I think. And then I forgot it at home, and I was devastated. Devastated. I like just wanted to read this book. And the fact that I had left it at home and I didn't think I was going to be able to read it until now, Saturday night, was really upsetting. I ended up like coming home Friday night at like probably, I don't know, probably like I got here maybe like 10ish. Or maybe like 9:30ish, but then there was issues with the shower because the water turned off and like the thing got stuck and we couldn't turn the water off in the shower. We had to get the maintenance guy to fix it, so I didn't get to like take a shower till like after 10:30, and I needed to get up and out the door by like 6:30, and I really wanted to read this book, so I ended up reading this in bed for like an hour. So I got like no sleep, like 4.5 hours of sleep or something, which was not enough, and I had to run this race. I was like so tired, but I managed to still do a decent, run. I like pulled the energy from somewhere, and I'm still awake right now, and it's 10 o'clock. Now just read some more until I can't any longer. And I don't have any obligations tomorrow morning, so I'll just sleep in. I will talk to you later, probably when I finish this. I'm loving it. Talk to you in a bit. Oh my god, I love Brianna. Please ignore all the honking. I just quickly wanted to tell you, after the couple pages that I continued on since the last update. Like, what is happening down there that needs all this attention? Anyway, Brianna is the real MVP. She stands up for Jacob so much. He's such like a sweet, careful, anxious man. And she's just more of like a firecracker. Well, I don't know. She's just more like aggressive and assertive in like the most protective way. And I just love her. I love that aspect of her. I see bits of myself in her, though she's much like, I don't know, she does other things that are like more chill and like nicer than maybe I am. But like that protective style that she has, I just like love it. And I'm just like, yes, because it's the thing when I see characters, I'm like, ugh. Someone needs to just like put that mean character in their place, like the bad guy character in their place, and like Brianna just does stuff like that, and I love it. So That's all for tonight, I promise, hopefully.
Short week. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Play frisbee with you, babe, after the chapter.
Thanks,
Hi, I'm in Battery Park City, hanging out with Chase and Park. They're throwing the frisbee around, and I'm chilling on a picnic blanket, living my best life. That's all I want to do. Is just enjoy beautiful weather. I'll probably throw the frisbee with them in a bit, but I have my bag, and I moved on from yours truly. I finished that. I don't think I told you that yet. I absolutely loved it. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars and put it as 5 stars on Goodreads, and it was mostly because Jacob is like the sweetest male fictional character I've probably ever read, or at least read in a really long time. So heartwarming, the way they talk about his anxiety and the way that Bree is just such a perfect match for him when it comes to being so understanding, not making him uncomfortable in like social situations and stuff, and just being like so kind. It was really good. The trope that I was talking about with the sand thing, after a while, like I thought maybe the trope wasn't about the main character, because there was a lot of like things happening to other characters that could have been tied to that, or like even something that happened to the main character that was kind of adjacent to that kind of trope. So I was like, oh, maybe like it won't happen to the main character, and then it did. So I was like still genuinely surprised, which was fun. It's nice to be surprised. So yeah, had a really good time at reading that. And now I've moved on to Just for the Summer, and I've got a new bookmark in it. Parth gave it to me. He just came back from a trip to South Africa, and this is the bookmark he got for me. Check it out. It's like handmade by a woman in Africa. So I popped that into my book right away. So kind. This park is great for like the downtown Manhattan area because it's on the west side. So the sun is setting this way, so you get the most sunlight you can on the island. Even back at my apartment building, if I'm on the roof, like I was on the roof earlier today, the sun is gone because there are other tall buildings like blocking. So it's really nice to like come down this way and get the full duration of sunlight possible on the island, at least in this area. So soaking it up. I'm gonna read and I'll talk to you later. Hey, so I am back from the park. We rode the city bikes back home. We took the long way around, and I used the electric. Oh my god. Fuck, let's spill over. And I used an electric bike. They're so fun. You just like zoom it. But it starts getting cold once the sun disappears. I did want to give you like one other thing about this. There was a beautiful quote. I took a picture of it and then highlighted it on my phone, but I figured I'd read it directly from the source. It's right at the end. It's not a spoiler or anything, but it's like so sweet. Bree's basically like, I'm broken, whatever. She's got like a hard past and things relationship-wise where she doesn't trust men. Jacob's like, we're all a little broken, Brianna. We are a mosaic. We're made up of all that we've met and all things we've been through. There are parts of us that are colorful and dark and jagged and beautiful, and I love every piece of you, even the ones you wish didn't exist. And I was like, what a nice sentiment. I love that. Also, I feel a little self-conscious because Chase is home and he's probably listening to me. Maybe. He probably is. Are you listening to me? But yeah, I really like that part. Reading an author back to back to back is kind of a nice experience because you get to know their style better. You kind of have your expectations set in the right place because you know what they've done in the past. I think that's part of the reason I really liked the second book a lot more than the first book. My expectations are going to be set for this one too, and I'm just going to be really enjoying them getting to know each other and the pining. Oh, that was the other thing about yours truly that I really loved. The pining was so good. All right, that's enough for now because the sirens are going, they're always going, and Chase wants to shower. So I'll leave you here and I'm gonna keep reading and I'll talk to you later. Hi, I am just over 200 pages into Just for the Summer and I want to give you an update. I'm starting to warm up to it. The first half of this book I really struggled. I was having a hard time connecting emotionally with the characters, but our main heroine, Emma, she has a traumatic past with like her mother just being really flaky, like leaving her for days alone when she was a child, like even weeks on end, and like just always moving around, not having stability. She didn't have a father and all this stuff. So she's kind of put this shell around her heart where she doesn't get emotionally attached to people. Like she's a traveling nurse, so she has great empathy and she's really good at showing compassion for other people, but she never gets attached, which is understandable considering her past and her career. But because she has a hard time making connections with people outside of her best friend, Maddie, who travels along with her, I have a hard time connecting with her, and I've noticed that more and more often as I read books with female characters like this. And maybe it would be the same with a male character, but I can't recall ever experiencing a male character like that. Not sure if I've just like overlooked it or if it just hasn't come up. Our hero, Justin, he's sweet. He's really into her. He's very similar to the other guys in this series in the sense that like it's very love at first sight. He's a little more like gentle about it. He's a little goofy too. He sends all these like little surveys for like, oh, pick what you want to do for our date, which is like kind of cute, but like over multiple times I'd be kind of like, me personally, I'd be kind of like, okay, I get it, you don't have to be so dorky all the time. He's come into custody of his siblings for reasons because his mom can't be around anymore and his dad passed away a couple years ago. Them trying to figure out they can be anything more than this curse-breaking relationship, you know. Starting to warm up to it more as Emma shows more emotions. Single parent aspects of Justin like really starts to ramp up a little bit more, like the stakes are getting higher. I'm getting more interested, and seeing how his mom is like struggling with what she's done is interesting. So yeah, we'll see how the second half goes. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I could say really is there's a dog in every book, which is cute. I like the dogs. I like that the dogs are around. But the romance, I'm like, like it's cute, but like I don't really feel it in my heart like I did with Jacob and Brianna. With Yours Truly, that book was so good, and like you could just feel the pining so much. And I know Justin is pining for Emma, like he wants her to stay, but like I just don't feel it as much. I just don't feel it. I'm planning on finishing this as soon as possible. I have reading sprints tonight actually for the Black Hat Witch Coven. We're reading The Honey Witch, and I kind of wanted to finish this before I jumped into that, but maybe I'll just start it because that's what the reading sprints are for. I will catch you later.
No, I'm probably gonna finish this one tonight, and then I'm gonna work on the Nightingale. This one. Engagement ring is massive. That's all I could know. The whole time was like her rock was huge. That's all I know.
There's so many girls walking around New York with these giant ass rings.
Rings.
I'm like, I thought my ring was big. I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god. And then I see like these other girls, I'm like, don't look at my ring. Huge rocks.
I think she wrote fanfic that was kind of like that. It was like Ron and Jenny fanfic or something.
Ew.
Wasn't it? Pretty sure, something like that. And everybody's like, that's a little bit odd.
I have completed the last book for this Abby Jimenez reading vlog. I finished Just for the Summer maybe 2 days ago now. It's Saturday. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I kept oscillating between like a 3 and maybe a 4, and then I was like, oh, maybe a 3.5. I don't know. I was like really back and forth on it. The male main character, Justin, was really into Emma, and I really liked the drama around his family with him really having to step up for his siblings and how he was taking that like new parenting role as a 29-year-old man. Emma's drama with her mother, Amber, who I knew from the beginning had a connection with a different character in the first book. I was really waiting for that to kind of come to fruition, like this realization, because Emma was not clued in on a lot of things about what was going on with her mom. I liked all that drama and stuff, but I don't know, just from like a romantic perspective, it wasn't like my favorite. It didn't give me nearly as many butterflies as book 2 did. I guess that's all I have to say about it. I would still recommend it, especially if you don't like spicy books. This book is the least spicy out of all of them. I think if this had been my first book by her, after all the slow burn buildup of this story, I would have been like really pissed off. But I knew what it was gonna be. So know that her books are not spicy, really. It's like minimal spice. If it's like out of 5 chili peppers, I'd give it 1.5 chili peppers on spice as a series. So I've completed this challenge. I'm quite pleased with myself. I'm definitely gonna keep the second one. As a refresher, I gave this one 3 stars, I believe. I gave this one 4.5 stars, and then I gave this last one 3.5 stars. Overall, I'd give the series a combined rating of like 3.5. All right, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me. If you did, please feel free to leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye.